Well, welcome back to the channel, guys, and thanks for clicking on the button to check this video out. This is a little bit of a strange one, really, because I'm actually coming back to have a look at an area I haven't been since I was in my very early childhood period of life. And I did a video where I showed people where I learnt to wildcraft, bushcraft, hunt and explore the outdoors. But there's one piece of woodland at the very end I showed you, which is where I did most of this, and I didn't go down into it because quite simply I stuck to a footpath. I'm walking into it now. I've changed to a camo top because I'm going to go into a woodland and I have the potential to be spotted on either side of high ground, and I'm doing my level best not to be. Obviously I'm not technically supposed to be here, but I just want to come back for memory's sake, if you will, just to have one last little look around. But instantly a old quarry, which all the farmhouses which are hundreds of years old would have had their stone quarried from, has been filled in. It's no more. So yeah, things have already changed in my eyes. So it might not look immediately obvious, but where this track is running down on the left hand side, you can see where it humps up to where that sunlight is, and if I bring you around you'll see it come back down here. Well, that may not look too big or steep for a quarry, but yes, this all was a quarry, and it probably sank down another 10 to 15 feet from the pathway, so it probably gave about a 30-foot face of stone, but it's been filled completely up. I understand it, they've got livestock, they probably don't want them disappearing down that hole, but I've got to make my way down here very stealthily and start entering the woods. It's going to be difficult. It was quite overgrown using this path when I used it as a kid, so I don't really know what I'm facing now. Now, I have no idea whether this galvanized is from when I was a kid, but I used to utilise galvanized that was lying around half rotted, bits like that, and used to make shelters all over the place here. Could that be any of the galvanized I used as a kid? Who knows, but it's quite pleasing to see there's still some of it lying about. But I'm going to head down to a little stream and show you what I used to follow when I was hunting. Right then, we're going to descend down this bank here down to the river, and this comes from the actual village, which is a quarter of a mile further upstream from this. I'm pushing down into it. Large parts of this are overgrown now, and you know, you'd struggle to navigate it, but yeah, used to work our way down through here all the way down through, and you would use the opposite sides of the banks. And as you can see, you wouldn't get too far down there. I think it was due to the traffic of us going up and down that kept it all open. Right, I'm going to climb out of here and let's get into this woods as best I can. I can already imagine it's going to be difficult because I'm guessing kids aren't kids like they used to be when the outdoors was the playground. Right, I'm back up on the track. There's possibly going to be a bit of wind noise on this because we have a imminent full storm heading in off the Atlantic, and it's bringing torrential rain and gale force winds. It's only hours away, and I'm trying to get this done and get back home before it hits. Like I said, I have some, you know, bits of open ground where I can easily be seen. Light quality is beginning to get a bit dim. Wrong time of day to be doing this, but if I was doing things right, there'd be something wrong with me on this channel. Right then, I can see where the livestock have been going down to the river to get a drink. I'm already feeling like a kid, putting on a camo top and scrabbling around the hedges and trying to avoid being seen. It's only because I don't want any awkward questions while you're here, what you're doing, you know, and then being told could you vacate the area, which naturally I would straight away. But if I can avoid any of that, I'm going to. But you can see what a tangled mess there. So I'm going to have to shoot out over this gate. I'll be in full view, and I'm going to try and hug the hedgerow to get into the woods. Well, that is even more overgrown than I thought, and I've had to come out wide onto the surrounding fields. I'm guessing when you're 10 up to 15, you don't mind pushing through brambles or anything. I'm down into the familiar boggy part of the valley, which you will see here behind me, and I've got to get into the wood. And as if by magic, I can hear a quad bike buzzing around somewhere. So I just want to get out of the way quick. Right then, there's a couple points or features I want to actually find, and that is the stony area where there was a badger set, just out of curiosity, and also the area that we used to camp a majority of the time. And when my friend, who parents owned all this land at the time, when I used to free range over it, you know, with full permission, they used to have their cousins come up from further down in Cornwall, and before I even knew it was called wild camping and bushcrafting, they used to come and spend 2 weeks here hunting and doing exactly what I do on my channel now. So yeah, it's interesting to see how that location has either got overgrown or whether it's being used as another purpose. But yeah, it's took a lot of effort just to get in. I don't know if it's because I'm older, but I could get in multiple areas further up rather than what I've had to do here. I'm not sure if this is actually the boundary wire fence that used to run through the wood. If that's the case, I've entered one hell of a way further down than we used to as kids. And yeah, I can already see a huge mound up there. But I think I need to be going in that direction to see what I want to see first. It should start levelling out over the brow. Right, there's some slightly raised ground here, I do remember that, and I think I can see the beginnings of boulders. Or is that a tree? It's a stone. Yeah, I'm on the stony bit here. That's wood. And I'm not seeing no evidence of badgers. Like I said, that was probably, oh, got to be 35, nearly 40 years ago. So I'm probably pushing my luck that they're still here. Although there is a new hole there, new diggings. Let's have a little look around. I'm panting a bit because it is quite a drag up here. Right, not seeing no evidence. And I've come right up the valley to the hedge line that looks all over towards another parish. There is another rise down there. I'm going to go and have a quick look at that. There looks to be a path down here. Right, let's keep going. Now this is a stony area, but my memory always allows me to think that you could remember big boulders. Or stones here, in there. They're here, but it looks like they're pretty overgrown. There as well. But no evidence of the badger set. I'm just going to check just over and amongst all that lot. I'm keeping my voice down because I can hear the main road, which is now a mile away, because the wind is blowing so hard in this direction. It's bringing all the noise, so I don't want my voice travelling. Right, there's a big depression here, a big circle, and I'm going to just pop down into it. I don't think there's mine shafts here. I have never been told, and I've never seen anything of mine shafts, although this does look a little suspiciously like it. There's a big hole there, and an even bigger one there. Oh my god, I could almost crawl down there myself. But I'm going to have a quick little look around here. There's other depressions here as well. And I do remember them actually, because we used to play soldiers and pretend this was our like World War I trench system. Another big depression there. It goes all the way around, and that looks like almost a clear circle. So I don't think it's natural. Oh yeah, it's solid. I used to jump in and out of these and not even think about it, but that's stone. Perhaps I won't stand inside this actually, to be fair and honest with you. Oh, another one down here, and it looks to be fresh digging. There you go. I do believe we still have badgers here. That is really special. If it's the badgers, or you know, the genetic lineage of the ones that were here when I was playing here as a kid, wouldn't that just be marvellous? Another one there. We've got a badger set here. Right then, you can see how these rocks are, and it looks almost man-made. I'm going to do a lot more investigating, because I've got a funny feeling this area could have been mined. I can't guarantee it, and I've never seen anything on paper, but it just looks like it's been built up like it. But whoa. I'm beginning to lose light. I've just found a clear track leading out further down through the woodland, and it's definitely a badger. It's too wide and it looks too heavy, and it's like too close to the ground, so it's nothing that's moving with a degree of stealth care. It's just a badger literally pushing its way through. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous in here. I can't believe I am absolutely dripping with sweat having to push through all this. This never was as much hard work as a kid. So this is the track, and as you can see, it's literally just bulldozed its way right the way through, and it's gone underneath. If it was a deer, it would stop, but you can see they've just pushed their way through. Let me get over this log. Just let you have a look at that sunset. Doesn't that look really nice? Just coming through the trees. It's actually giving this wood a little bit of a haunted feel. Now, I did say in my other video about this piece of woodland and ground I used to, you know, play in as a kid, that this part of the woodland you'd see lots of trees coming down, or hear them, they snap. And when you'd play in here, you were always careful. You'd hear a thump, possibly 100 meters down into the wood line. You'd go down there and find a tree that's gone over. And just in this little bit here, I can see one there, one further down there, and we got the remnants of one that's just snapped right off there. Pays to be vigilant if there's high winds and you're in here. I shan't be in here when that storm hits. There's a few bugs in here now and they're beginning to be a bit of a pest. But yeah, this woodland, ironically, as kids, we called it Deadwood. Now, that won't mean anything to anybody else because on the map it's not actually called that. But for us in the village, it was, as kids, it almost had that little bit of a foreboding place that not many kids would come down into, or this far down through the valley into this wood. Obviously they didn't have permission from the farmer themselves, but kids being kids, you would go off exploring back in the day. I'm talking like the 70s and early 80s. There wasn't so much parental concern or restraint. You just went out and explored the outdoors. So yeah, it used to be called Deadwood, and that's not just to add a little bit of flavour to this video. That's actually what it was called. But yeah, I'm actually on the brow and I'm dropping down the other side of the valley now, and I know back when I was allowed to come in here that this belonged to another farm, and that may have been the dividing fence. May not be, it may be all bought up by somebody else. But I want to find our old camp spot, and I do know that's a fair way over there, so I think I'm pointlessly wasting my time here at the moment. So I'm against the time and light, so I've got to utilise what I have available to me. And now I've got to formulate a plan to get back out of here because I don't want to do it the way I came. When I had my single barrel 12 bore and I used to do a little bit of hunting of foxes and things like that, there was one fox that I was tracking through this wood line. It kind of knew I was following him. It would stop and just peer over his shoulder, go about his business. He was always too far out of range, and he'd carry on trotting on in front of me, and I would be trying to circle him through this, trying to not make any noise, scratching myself up to pieces. But yeah, I thought I had him, and he got to this particular bit of the wood line. I remember this. He just stared at me. And yet again, another one of those situations, you bring your gun up, you're about to pull the trigger, he just disappeared over this low hedge line into the field and just stood in the field probably 20 metres away. I didn't have permission to shoot in that field, and it was almost as if he knew it, and he just stared at me and just gently went on his way. And I was so frustrated at the time, but that's another little story regarding hunting foxes that I remember. They really are smart, wily, and they're clever. They know their stuff, and I'm pretty sure they know what you're up to or thinking. So this was the hedge. He just shot out over here, this low hedge, and I can remember it as clear as day. And he was just over there on that grass, that brow of the hill, just staring at me. Yep, don't ever think animals are stupid. They're clever, probably cleverer than us. Now I'm actually following a track, and this is more like the wood, well, the wood that I remember. Slightly more open, and the trees in this sort of format, probably a little bit better condition. And like I said in my other video, where all those rocks were, the trees are older and more degraded, and they suffer a lot of wind damage. But I've got to try and find that place where we used to camp. Now I remember this gateway. It's because my friend's parents, when they used to do a bit of woodland management or actually go and get some wood, this was where they used to enter the wood with their tractors. And there is evidence that you can still see where it's been widened out. But yeah, it's all flooding back, and I'm really enjoying this. I might not never come back here again. This might be the last time I ever do this. and I am savouring it and taking it all in. Memories are coming back, and I wish I had allowed myself more time. The trouble is with me, it's like everybody, I'm short on time with lots to do and a lot of other commitments. I'm guessing you could say if I'd never have come back here, I'd always wonder what it was looking like now. But yeah, light is fading and it is beginning to get another big hole here. Yeah, I've really got to find this place where we used to camp, and it's the wood's beginning to look all the same now. Light is fading. Well, look at this. We've got an old vintage tractor seat. I think it says Bamford's, and it's obviously cast because it's snapped off there. Cast iron snaps quite easy, but it's got the leaf spring. I'm guessing somebody had a light or lantern there. And here you can see somebody had a fire. But there was a deer just down there and he was just watching. He stood there. I didn't see him till the last moment, and when I did, he bolted. But down here there's a big valley that comes up the other side. We'll pop down there and have a look. It's usually quite damp down there, but a little bit more open. Now this is one real old beech tree. Look at that. That is it is absolutely a magnificent specimen. Right, let's follow this track. And look what's here. Oh boy. This is new. This was never here. Look at that. It says keep out. I don't see any padlock. I don't know whether to have a little look. It looks pretty intimidating. If there ever was somewhere a witch was going to live in the woods, I think this would be it. But I'm here. Let's have a look before it gets too dark. Right, I'm about to go in. I've got my head torch and I'm going to go in and have a little look around. This has got all the makings of the Blair Witch Project, if you ask me. If I was sensible, I'd turn around and exit this woodland. But hey, it's me. Let's go and have a look. I'll leave my stuff here in the entrance. What have we got here? It's built like a roundhouse. Oh, there is actually furniture and that in here. Look at this. There's a saw. I'm sure seats or something of some description. There's candle there to put candles. This has been quite well done, although it looks like it's caving in. Actually, it's been here for a while. There are seats. I'm really impressed with this find. It's been done like a roundhouse. There's bottles up there. Let's see what they prefer to drink. What's this? I'm not going to stop pulling it out. Can't see what it actually is. Yeah, this has been well thought out. What's this? Oh, there's a pan there. But it looks like it's beginning to cave in. Some of these struts are going. They're snapping. But it's been built around this big one here. Yeah. Does this say come and do a wild camp? I don't know. This looks just too weird and eerie. But hey, it's in the back of my mind now. Let's get out of here and just shut the door now. Now that was worth coming in here just to find that. Whoever done it has done a fantastic job, and it's looked like they've tried to make it half habitable. I'm not sure how much you know, or how well you could live here in reality, particularly when it's cold, but somebody's had a damn good try at making something you could try doing it in. So I've left it as I found it, and I'm making my way along this particular track here. It's just basically a built up round shelter dug out of a slight little bank, but hey, scary. But in this piece of woodland, before that was ever there, I had an encounter with an owl. I was actually coming down through this cleft, this valley here, and I got to the bottom. I turned around and I just walked past an owl sitting on a fence post, and it had watched me all the time walk past it, and I was only like 10 feet away from it. And as I turned around, it made no attempt to move. We just stared at each other, you know, for a long time, and I just walked off and it still stayed there. You know, it's amazing when you think about it, because it's obviously a wild animal, but it had no fear of me at that moment in time. It just sat there watching me. There's a lot of noise. I'm not sure if that's from the lane, but I'm going to push on through. I think I've gone past the old camping spot, you know. Well, I've just stumbled on a massive badger set here. Badgers are still in this wood. Look at the ground they've excavated and kicked out. Huge. And this one's still in operation here. I can see dung. Yeah. Whoa, look at that hole. These ones up here. Look at that one down there. And there's one right in behind there. They're still back, and that is so good to see. To know badgers are still using this. And it goes all the way up here. All the way through there as well. I'm going to have a little look in here, but this definitely wasn't where we used to camp. And this is a slightly newer piece of ground. In fact, this was just basically like almost overgrown scrubland in here, but it's very quickly taken off. Like I say, it's a long time since I've been in here. I'm well past where we would have camped. That sun is going down fast now. I'm going to get caught out and stuck wandering around in this woodlands in the pitch black, with whatever lives in that sunken hobbit hole roundhouse or Blair Witch house coming back to find me that's been in there. Yeah, I'm going well off track here. Now this little bit of valley here goes down to the river, and I don't want to go any further more down because I'm planning my exit out of here. I just want to see if I can find our camp area. And memory serves me, it was a nice flat area with a lot of young trees. They wouldn't be young anymore, but oh, I really want to find it. Now I've got a feeling this was it. This was the area, this flat area here. There's a lot of evidence that trees have been cut at some point. That would have been us. But this area here, this flat area, all the way around here, if you could imagine this as being our camp. But I think the camp that was used by my friend's cousins was just over here. Just over in there. Walking through these brambles. This whole area here is the area that they used. Yeah, I think I found it. It looks so, it's all gone back to nature. There's no, I mean, you can see where cutting has taken place here. But nature's reclaimed our camp spots, as it should be really. But yeah, I reckon if I came back in another 10 years time, if I could even get in here in 10 years time, I'm not going to see any trace of what I believe is where we camped. Well, I'm just having a cup of coffee and just actually catching my breath. You probably saw in a few of those shots I had beads of sweat running down my brow. It's been a lot of hard work and I've had to push through a lot of bushwhacking. I could have done with my bushwhacking hiking stick on some bits in here. That hiking stick just did not have the weight to smash through it. But what a find, that little roundhouse sunk into the ground. It just screaming wild camping, but a wood that's called Deadwood, that there, it's just screaming Blair Witch Project. I'm not trying to dramatise it, but as the light is fading, this wood has always had a funny little feel to it, and even as kids we were always kind of like a little bit spooked and apprehensive of this woods. But it's been fantastic for me to come back as an adult, find those places that I remember and see the things that I remember. I spent a lot of my childhood in here building camps and wild camping, bushcrafting and hunting, and yeah, I may never come back here again, but I'm glad I've done it. It's reinforced some memories, and I can still see myself, close my eyes, I can still see myself and my friends running around in here and doing what kids do. Absolutely fantastic. But I'm waiting for the light just to drop a bit more, because I'm going to go across a couple fields and make my way out to some public footpaths and then make my way the long way home. I'm not actually going to force my way down through what I had to come back up into this woodland. Insects everywhere. But yeah, I've got a plan of action, which is quite simply find the easiest route when it starts to get dark and nobody will be around to see me. Now, it's actually amazing that I can hear that traffic. Like I said, it's almost a mile away, possibly more. I would say probably even a mile and a half, but the wind now has dropped off, but it is in this direction. I think I can see a bit of a sunset beginning to drop down over the hill there. So I'm going to make my way back to that gateway and go out across the fields. But I'm just finishing up my coffee. I just love coffee in the woods. I'm hearing a lot of birds coming in to roost now. And the ones further in the woods are settling, but you get a lot land near me. They don't see me. They actually roost, get in there. Then they suddenly start looking around the surroundings and realising I'm below the canopy, see me, then they flap off out, make a fair old clutter as their wings start beating to go through the tree branches. And you see them circle overhead and go into a different part of the woodland. But I've got to start making my way to the gate. I don't want to leave it till the point I'm tripping over everything to get out of here. So I'm going to finish this up now. Well then guys, what a sky behind me, and I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to have to make my way out of this woodland now, and my opportunity has arisen, and I'm going to scamper across these couple fields, get on a public footpath and head back to my car and go home. I really can't explain to you how honoured I am for you to come along and see all this with me and see what I did and where I hung out as a young kid, and I hope you can appreciate it's truly magical. I've got no complaints about my childhood growing up here and having all this at my disposal. In fact, I would say I was totally privileged to do so. So I hope to catch you guys again. This is Andy from Hidden Valley Footpaths. Take care, stay safe, and I hope you find your own adventure like this one. And if you can't, keep logging into this channel and I'll take you along with me on mine. All the best, take care, stay safe.